Good morning, everybody. My name is Janina Trujillo. I'm the president of DPAC. I have my vice president, Brenda. Brenda. So we have like two languages available. We have English and Spanish. So we're gonna start a recording. If you don't wish to be recorded, just let us know. And you can turn off your camera and you can change your name. So, this is us. I'm not sure if Fatima is. No.
Yeah, I hope maybe she's online. I'm not sure. Is Fatima here? Oh, did I stop sharing? Yeah, sorry. We are showing you the difficulties in actually running a hybrid meeting today. It's not always simple. There we go. Can you see the slides now on Zoom? Okay, thank you.
Well, I think let's
just go and talk about what we're going to do today.
Okay, we have a meeting objects. We understand the purpose of the school size council, and that district parent advisory and the council, district parent advisory council, and the practice. Once we're gonna practice the elevator speech to explain to other parents what the SSC and the DPAC are, and begin implementation on one or goals, the 2024 and 2025 goals. We're saying Spanish.
No, this is interpreting for us.
Okay. So now we want to know what is DPAC and what is the SSC.
You can present, or you can invite me to present.
I want to invite Miss Julie to present.
Been invited. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm Julie Kane, Director of Special Projects, and I support family engagement. And today I'm going to share with you what DPAC is, the District Parent Advisory Council. I'm sorry, I forget the owl is here. I can stand. You can see me on all. When I say the owl, you see this funny camera in the middle. It follows me, and if you talk, it'll show you, so the people on Zoom can see you. How many of you have been on DPAC before, or been to a DPAC meeting? Okay, just a few. How many of you are on your school site council at your site? Okay, some. All right, and some are just here to learn, right? And here to think about, maybe I'll join. Okay, well, DPAC is required because we receive Title I funds for our district. Title I funds are funds that we earn by registration of low-income students, and we spend based on students who are struggling academically, right? So we may earn it by this group of students who come in low income. We can spend it on any student in our schools who are struggling academically. And DPAC helps us govern how we use those funds. Just like your school site council sits and looks at the school allocation and how we use those funds to support struggling students at your site. So, yeah, I think I pretty much talked about that. In addition, though, the district parent council also gives feedback to the LCAP. The LCAP is our local control and accountability plan. Those are the funds we receive from the state. That's the majority of the funds that come to our schools. DPAC also oversees Title I funds, which is a much smaller proportion of funding that comes to us from the federal government. So what do DPAC representatives do? Well, you come to these meetings, not too hard. We treat you nice, give you coffee and snacks. But really you come to become informed and bring that information back to your school site, right? Also bring information from your school site and bring it back here so all of us can learn about what's happening at the different school sites. And that is essentially the role of DPAC and the role of being a participant in DPAC. This visual just kind of shows, if you look at the orange circles, school site council, DPAC, they feed each other back and forth, right? School site, district level, we want to inform each other. The same goes for the green circles, which are the District English Learner Advisory Council, which has been renamed recently to, who remembers? Community of Multilingual Families. Because the group decided that was a better representation. This group, DPAC, might decide we need a new name. That's okay. In the law, that's how it's referred to, but we can call it what we want. The Community of Multilingual Families at the district level now communicates with the ELACs at school sites, the English Learner Advisory Councils. And should the ELACs decide to change their names, that's totally okay too, to better represent. And you have the school administrative team in blue and the district administrative team in blue supporting all of these efforts. So they really feed each other. So these are goals for DPAC that we've had for a while. One is raise the awareness. So when you go back to your school site and you mention DPAC, people don't look at you like, what? They know what you mean, right? Increase parent knowledge about the school district and how the school district functions and the services we provide. Strengthen communication amongst the parent community. And we have a large, I think we've done pretty well with that. You'll see members of DPAC who are also members of the Community of Multilingual Families who also participate in our support, our special needs family support group, and or our APAC, our African American Parent Advisory Council, or our PTAs. You'll see them crossing over back and forth, and we want to make sure that communication stays strong and we keep bringing in new families and new members. And then increasing interactivity at meetings, which is, in my perfect world, if you were here 5 years ago, I'd have you up and moving around and talking and drawing on the walls. It's a little more difficult in the hybrid world. We're working on it to make it more interactive, but we're still learning. So thank you for your patience with that. Okay, so what is a school site council? Essentially, you're the elected group and you have one big responsibility, and that is to develop, evaluate, and update the school plan for student achievement. How many of you have seen the school plan for student achievement, otherwise known as the SIPSA or the SPSA? Have you heard that term? Okay, I'm seeing some yes, some no. I will tell you it's on the website. Every year when it's updated, it gets posted. I will also tell you it's like a 150-page document, so it's not a fascinating read. But if you go to a school site council meeting, you will get the opportunity to hear the different parts of it. And I'll give you an example, because yesterday Giannina and I joined Anderson's school site council, and the principal led them through, here are the goals that we had last year. And then here's what we did as a school. We brought our latest data, the SBAC data from last spring, the LPAC data from last spring, and the iReady data that we just took in September. And as a teacher group And by grade level, they redefined their goals, right? They really looked at the data where they are, looked at what might be realistic for where they could move the kids forward, and then presented these new goals to the council for approval. It was, well, I can't speak for Judith, you were online, no? Okay, and Gabby was, no, you were around, but I'm not sure, were you in the meeting? I can't remember.
Which one, sorry?
SSE yesterday.
Oh, no.
Okay. And Giannina was there, but Judith, can you talk about what that was like, seeing the data and hearing about the goals?
Yes, it was more very, to my point of view, it was more understandable. And that I can see that it was also since you like you didn't put a goal that is not expected, like but it was a goal that it could be challenging, like they have to work, but they could be met. So it was really a good, like comparing, like having a real goal to see that finally was good.
Thank you. Yeah, and that's where you get into those kinds of details and you can see. And it was a great example of looking at where we are, where we want to be, and where do we think we can get this year. And some grade levels had more ambitious goals than others, depending on their knowledge of the students and where they entered, but all of them were ambitious. All of them were, originally, I think last year's goal was 100% of kids are going to be at grade level. And of course, that's what we want. But when we have some kids in a school who are 2 or 3 years behind, that's a really ambitious goal. But we want to set goals that are going to get at least 1 year's growth, maybe an accelerated 2 years growth. But that still may be beyond 100% proficient, but that's a heck of a lot of growth. So it's a very detailed plan, and the teachers will now come back when the children take iReady in December. They will meet in January to have a day-to-day and go through that data. And then they will bring that data back to School Site Council in January and say, here's where we were in September. And hopefully, here's where we are in December. Let's look at our growth, right? And that's what we're looking at. If there's growth going on, then our plan is working, right? If the growth is stagnated and, it's only here, maybe something we planned isn't working. Maybe we need to reevaluate and think about how we're spending our funds. That's the conversation that the School Site Council has. But it's really important to have your voice heard in that, both from the school site staff as well as from parents. Okay. So, and here's just this is animated, Janina, so it's like 17 times to get through the whole slide. But here's what School Site Council is not. Okay, it is not hidden. Okay, go to the other side. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
It's not, you don't make policy, the board makes policy. It is not a political organization. We're not going to try to, vote in our mayoral candidate. That's not what we're here for. It's not a personnel committee. We don't decide who gets hired and fired. That's the role of the principal. It's not a grievance committee. It's not where you come to bring your complaints. There are other channels for that. It's not a school management committee, so you don't get to tell the principal how to do his or her job, right? We're very focused on student data and how we're moving them. It's not a fundraising committee. We have a PTA for that. It's not an extension of PTA or a parent club, and it's not a social group. Okay, it has a very defined purpose. That also helps us stay within like the 45 minutes to an hour of a meeting, right? There's a lot, as we saw at Anderson, a lot of data to look at and a lot of goals to talk about, and that hour flies by fast. So we want to make sure we are very focused. And then the composition, this is another one, Gina, sorry, I'm an animating queen, but it has to have parity, right? It has to have half staff, half parents and community members. The only required staff member is the principal. Then the teachers must be the majority, and then there can be another. So as an example from Anderson yesterday, there was the principal, 3 teachers, and an instructional aide, who is the classified staff. And then there were 5 parents. It has to be 5 and 5. If I have 6 parents, I have to have 6 from staff. If I have 10 parents, I have to have 10 from staff. We have yet to get to the point where there's so many parents fighting to get on SSC that we have to make it bigger, bigger, bigger. But the minimum is 10 members, 5 parents and community, 5 staff. And here's the main goal, again, is developing the SPSA. Can you get rid of that top thing, Janina? Just hit OK.
Okay.
Thank you. So the first one, you analyze the data, like what happened at Anderson yesterday. You measure the effectiveness of current strategies. That's what we'll do in December, because we have September data, we'll have December data. At your January meeting, you'll look at the growth. And then we'll say, are there some things we need to improve? Are some things we need to do? We define timelines, personnel, and expenditures. That's where you see that plan that's 150 pages long. That's where all those details go. You recommend the plan to the board. That happened in May of last year. So your plan is good all the way till May of this coming year. So we're in the implementation phase, right? It is approved. We're in implementation. 7, we're monitoring. And then every time there's new data, we start over. Now let's analyze. Let's see, how are we doing? Is it working? Keep going. Is it not working? We need to make some changes. And we go round and round. Again, we'll recommend your latest version of the plan in May to the board for approval for 25-26. So that was a lot. So let's take a minute at your tables around people sitting near you. What is school site council like at your school? Or what do you know about it? Or do you know people on school site council? And if you're in the chat, there are directions here for how to put your thoughts in the chat for our Zoom friends. So can we take 2 or 3 minutes and turn and talk to someone, introduce yourself to someone you don't know, and find out what school site council is like for them? Ready, set, go. Keep that
Have them talk this a little. With it, time.
So. Yeah. Your school. I just think I agree.
one school you're not actually. Okay, can we come back together? I hate to interrupt good conversation. But I would love to hear, I heard a couple interesting things. And I'm gonna put Adams on the spot here because we have school site council member here. Would you please introduce yourself to the group and tell them about your experience at your first meeting?
Yeah, I heard that she went to the meeting and I was gonna let everybody know that I got voted in for Jane Addams to be on the council. It was a very good experience. We actually had so much to talk about in the budget that we went over the time period. We had to stay a few more minutes to wind things down. It's a lot of good information. It's things that are gonna help the students specifically. It's money that can help aid the children, the students with whatever they need. If they need special extra help. So it's very, very beneficial. And I enjoyed the first meeting. It was really, really good.
And what
Like you
did
said,
Miss
it was-
Valentine tell you?
Ms. Valentine, she said, I'm in charge of $147,000 for the school. But you should be very proud and spend it in the right way.
Nice.
So, yeah.
So you're part of the committee?
Yes, I got voted in at Jane Addams.
Awesome. Ask them for itemized paper that shows you how they're spending the money.
You were on
No.
NSC?
No.
Just the itemized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a good idea, so you can provide it to the community.
That would be
If they're, you said it's 100 and how much?
147,000.
147,000, make sure that they're actually using that money for the kids. Excellent.
So yeah, specifically.
And that's actually, that's what the school plan is, and that's why it's 150 pages long. You want to see the itemized, because they actually have to put in it. And say goal 1, we want high achievement for students, and we are, well, actually, goal 2 is where mostly Title I funds go, because that's for students who are struggling. So it might say, release days for teachers to do study on the new math curriculum, and it will say how many sub days and how much it costs, and then it will say extra hours for instructional assistants to provide before and after school intervention, and it'll say how much money that costs. It does itemize it exactly as you say. And then in those meetings, that's where you're having a discussion, because sometimes it comes to, oh, we decided we hired 3 instructional aides, right? But this position has been sitting vacant for half the year. We need to either fill that spot or we need to reallocate those funds to something else. So what might that be? So that's the level of detail that you get into in these meetings. So it is there. But I said, I mean, you can read it. It's got the whole thing in there of everything that they're spending, and it is updated throughout the year. So.
And documented.
I heard another voice and
Oh,
documented.
I'm sorry.
Helen,
It's
have
Mary
questions.
on Zoom. I was gonna say, I'm on school site council at Adams, and I have been, I was at Green, and all of it's all well documented, and they do a really good job at keeping track of everything and making sure that the school site council has their say in what they believe is the best use of the money. So it's not just like a petty cash where they just, throw the money around. It's really organized, and you could see where everything goes. So just wanted to add that in.
They show all the
Thank you, Gary.
details. They show all the details. And Ms. Valentine was very organized. She went through it with all the slides and they show you everything. It's really, really good. Okay, well, a lot of good detail.
About a year and a half ago, I asked for an itemized list of how they spend certain amount of money. They couldn't provide me that.
They didn't have
enough.
All right, well, I'll tell you, they do now. So they can show
Okay, so
you.
if I ask for it, maybe they can give me a retro for the last 2 years.
Ask to say, can I see the school plan? The most current one, because the one that's posted up on the website is the one that was approved in May. And the school site councils are already making adjustments this year because we got our new budget allocations for the new year. But yes, they should be able to give you the school plan, yes. But I'd say, ask for the school plan. If you ask for an itemized list, they go, I don't know what you're talking, but school plan?
I'm
we've got-
actually referring to assessment money funds. That parents are signing assessment papers and send to the state sends to the school or the district $6,500 per child.
Are you talking about special education
Yes, I am.
specifically? Oh, okay, that's a different, this is gonna sound strange, but that's a different pot of money. and that is outside the purview of Title I. That's a special education question. And so that would be something I would encourage you to direct to the Director of Special Education here. She can help you with that.
But you're saying that they cannot provide me an itemized paper that shows where.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that's outside of the purview of this committee and the school plan.
Good.
Yeah, that's a different thing. Okay. All right, any other questions, thoughts from your conversation? All right, well, our part of our job today is to prepare you to go back to your school sites and spread the word about what school site council is and what DPAC is. And Giannina and Brenda have been working on an elevator speech to explain back at home what this is. So I'm going to turn it back to Giannina and Brenda to share an example of what they came up with of how you might explain it back at your school sites.
For me, the district parent advisory committee is essential component in many schools districts, particularly those that receive federal funding under the Title I. DPAC serves a representative body for parents and guardians within the school districts. Its primary goal is to ensure that parents have a voice in educational process and decision-making at the district level. You wanna say something about the school site?
The School Site Council is a group typically composed of parents, teachers, and community members that work together to make decisions about the school educational programs and resources. They often help develop and monitor the school's improvement plan and budget, ensuring that the school's goals align with students' needs.
Want to share it in Spanish as well?
Yeah. El comité que es para nosotros es DPAC. El Comité Asesor de Padres del Distrito es un componente esencial en muchos distritos escolares, particularmente aquellos que reciben fondos federales bajo el Título 1. DPAC sirve como un organismo representativo para padres y tutores dentro del distrito escolar. Su objetivo principal es garantizar que los padres tengan voz en los procesos educativos y la toma de decisiones a nivel distrito.
El Consejo del Sitio Escolar es un grupo típicamente compuesto por padres, maestros y miembros de la comunidad que trabajan en conjunto para tomar decisiones sobre los programas y recursos educativos de la escuela. A menudo ayudan a desarrollar y monitorear el plan de mejora y el presupuesto de la escuela, asegurando que los objetivos de la escuela se alineen con las necesidades de los estudiantes.
Okay, you've now heard three different my version, Giannina and Brenda's versions. Can you take a minute with a partner and see if you can come up with one sentence to describe what school site council is to a parent back at your school site? And then take another minute and see if you can say, what does DPAC do in relation to school site council? We've had lots of examples. Time to think. We'll leave it up. But in all that you've heard today, take 2 minutes and turn to a partner. See if you can come up with that one sentence. Ready? Go. That looks so terrifying. Are you allowed to ask one sentence? You survived. It's not that terrible. Maybe on this. Okay, do we have a brave soul, either in person or in Zoom, who would like to unmute and tell us their one sentence? Is there anyone feeling brave who would like to say? If I walked up to you and said, hi, I heard about this thing called SSC. I don't know what it is. You know something about it. Could you tell me? Anyone? You gonna leave me hanging? Oh, Carrie, you can help me?
Yeah. It's a committee of parents and teacher and staff that help make sure that what the data is, that we're paying attention to it, and that we are allocating those Title I funds correctly to best support the students based on the data that we get from testing and all other resources that are available to us as parents and the teachers have, and collaboratively work together to make sure that those funds are being best used as a committee.
Done. Thank you, Carrie.
That's more than one sentence, I apologize.
Well,
I
it's hard to put it just in one sentence.
Gary, you did a
Yes.
good job.
And I think you got to the essence, right?
I hope so.
Yeah, we have a voice in how those, I really appreciate que los padres tengan voz, right? So that the padres have a voice in how those funds are spent, so that it is a partnership. And if you said nothing else, it's a partnership between school and parents to make decisions for kids, right? That's essentially it.
Based on the numbers that we get and all other incoming factors.
Absolutely, absolutely. You want to try?
No, I have a question from our Zoom world. Jessica asks, how does DPAC influence SSC?
How does DPAC influence SSC? So those of you who are at School Site Council today, those of you who are here at DPAC today will now go back to your school sites and bring information, right? And there's more that we'll be sharing, but you are our information channel, one of our information channels to bring back to School Site Council. We also do some training. If you're on School Site Council, you know you have to complete a School Site Council training. And there's a lovely video. It's me. I think I'm even in the same outfit. I'm not sure, but we're going through what School Site Council is. There's an English recording and a Spanish recording. But now you are going back also with a little bit more information to share, right? And then we'll be speaking about some other things that we want you to bring back. And so that's how you influence School Site Council. And you also influence DPAC by bringing back the things that either that you learned at your School Site Council or problems you're wrestling with and say, you know, we're really struggling with this. You know, is there another school that has the same issue? And what was your solution? It's a way to help each other. All right. Your homework's going to be to go practice this, you know, so I'm just letting you know. We're going to come back next month and have you say it again. All right. Jenny, you want to take us to the next part?
Yes. All goals for the 2024-2025. With the accomplishments.
Sorry?
Which one does I, the goals?
Well, our accomplishments, you want to start with those? What we
Yeah,
have
the accomplishments.
accomplished?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Accomplishment is English as second language classes for parents, Spanish as second language for parents.
May I interrupt and just say,
Mhm.
teacher for Spanish language classes is right here, Brenda. We're going to be starting those classes up again in November for those of you who would like to learn Spanish. Our English as a second language classes are currently running at the Community Wellness Center for level 1 in the afternoons and at Green Elementary for level 2 in the mornings. We will be recruiting soon for the spring semester where we will have level 1 at FDR, level 2 at the Community Wellness Center. And our parents at Green are going to graduate up to going to school at El Camino for their level 3. So we are constantly, we do 3 levels at our district level, and then we move on to El Camino. So there's always room for the next group of level 1 families that would like to learn English. So we're excited to have both of those things running.
Recognizing the importance of ELAs as a key to helping student success. Reinforcing the importance of dual language education. In understanding that bilingualism is an asset.
Mhm.
As
Asset.
asset. Now the goals for improvement. We have to make really clear what each commitment does. Need to create a mutual respect amongst all language. Small language groups are often overlooked. We like to build community of family of students with disabilities.
Check mark, we did that. Guess who did that
Yeah.
too? Brenda and Judith are leading this group. And when's your next meeting?
November 19th.
November 19th. Okay.
We need to clarify how parents can get invited to conference like CABE. We want to celebrate parents who are commitment, increase resources, community partnerships, and learning from other districts.
So I highlighted 2 in red because the goal, we want to make it really clear what each committee does. That's what we've spent the first part of this morning doing, right? You're going to help us get that message across about what DPAC is, what School Site Council is. But the next part, really exciting, is celebrating our parents who are committed, and Brenda and Giannina are going to show you something from the past that we want to bring back.
Yes, we was working on that because we're gonna bring the passport back. So we have 2 designs. I told Miss Julie, whatever you guys want to decide to the passport you choose, whatever it's gonna be. So I like more that Brenda made it because it's more easy. Mine take like days to do it. But I wanna share with you guys how how Brenda do the passport.
And can you explain to those who are new what is a passport? Why would we have a passport?
Yes, in the past, 20 years ago before pandemic, in the schools, they give us a passport. So every time that we attend a meeting, usually it was the community liaison, the signer that we are attending that meeting. So when we get some amount of signing, we could have a certificate, we think so. And if we have more and more, we have another recognition, like a t-shirt or something like that from the district. So we want to bring this back because I think give a prize for the parents to spend the time in the school is really important because they feel recognized. So I think this is important. So that's why we want to bring the passports back. But I was thinking in a new idea. Because it's a passport, we could have different, a real passport have different nationalities, right? So I want to have in the front, the symbol of our school that will be like our nationality. You maybe have kids in 2 schools. Myself, I have 2 passports also. I have a Mexican passport and a USA passport. So you could have also 2 passports. And in the passport, they usually give us some stamps when we visit the country. So I was planning to have stamps, but for attending the meetings. So, and the idea that I have, we are going to have the dates for the meetings. So it's going to be easy for us to know when it's going to be the next meeting. And attend the meeting and get all stamps and get recognized because we are attending these events. Like that.
And there's a video linked on there, although I think I wasn't able to get it.
Oh,
I'll see the link down below,
right here.
but it might be upside down. I was having a hard time, Brenda.
Yeah.
But you get the sense, you get the
And
sense. that
showing the video on the Zoom.
It's not?
It is.
Oh, it is. Oh,
It has been showing it.
oh, really? Oh.
I think so.
Okay,
Okay,
this,
well,
that one.
we'll catch up with you here in person.
I'm sorry.
So it's definitely an upgrade on the single sheet that we used to do when we get it stamped. These guys are very creative. All right. Sorry, Julie has 400 tabs open all the time. So, okay, so you want to show yours now?
And that one is mine. I would like to create it with a passport, with a, how do you say the logo from the school and the name of the school on the back. Right. I was like grateful that William Green Elementary gave me his dates too. And the day they have the meetings. So I was like putting the name, like I'm gonna show you this. We have it. So I was trying to do it like the district parent advisory commitment, like in one page. Not put it all that together, and the other page to put it the school size councils. How you see in the, and right here we have the community community of multilingual families, and we have the ELAT. They don't change that name, right?
Not yet,
Okay.
not at the schools.
So with the days and the way they can stamp who's going to the meetings, and the African American parents advisory commitment too. We don't have a dates. That's why I don't put it the dates. And we have to the special needs family support group with the dates and the workshops. The classes, all we have the volunteers. And the last page, thank you. I want to say something about the workshops. I was talking with Ms. Julie, but we don't talk like what we're gonna do yet. But I was talking with Los Angeles Health Department, I think it's that. So I want to bring a workshop for all the parents, but I want to first need to talk with Ms. Julie because we need to find a date and bring that first workshop. But I want to talk about mental health, how important is mental health. So the only thing I need right now is the help of the parents who's gonna want to be on the workshop, because I need like 30 people to be on the workshop. So I really want to bring this workshop to the school. So I hope all parents that are here in the Zoom meeting, they can help me to know like they can come to the workshop, but we don't have a date yet. So we're gonna find out, and I'm gonna work with Ms. Julie and see how can we do that.
Well, here's a great segue, because later in the slides, I have an advertisement we're having our first annual health fair at the Community Wellness Center on November. I'm gonna get the date wrong, but it's coming up in November. We'll pull it up in the slides. The coordinator from the Wellness Center has asked that our PALS parents, and these are who are our parents who took part in the training to be public health ambassadors. I know there are 5 at Twain, there are several at other different school sites, including Giannina, and one of their roles is to bring resources from the Department of Public Health out to the school site. So what we can do, because my other secret plan was to ask our pals' parents to be at the health fair to publicize what's
Mhm.
happening. And that's where we could publicize the workshop and get
Yeah.
parents to sign up for it.
Mhm.
So I think it's going to be a health fair where you can get your flu shots. And then you can come and learn about all the different services that the health center or the wellness center provides. Did someone say something in Zoom land?
I did. I'm so sorry. It's Carrie.
No, no,
Carrie,
just-
no,
just
I
no.
love it when you talk. Join in.
I just wanted to ask, would it be possible, because for for those of us, because I know this isn't the time to talk about it, but the ones that are, can we like maybe put our names in the chat and then you can contact us and then let us know, what we could do and how we could help out with the
Yes,
thing.
that would be great. Yes.
Is that
Excellent
okay?
suggestion. Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Okay, because I wasn't sure. I had the same question about the
Yeah,
pod.
because even if it's a parent, they can come to the meeting, we can do it in Zoom too. That's what my plans do too. Because more parents we have, it's gonna be excellent for them. And my plan is like, I have in the mind to talk the mental health. How important is that? And I really want bring the workshop.
Great. And we are open to lots and lots of
Mhm.
workshops. There's also a math, how to support your elementary student with the new math curriculum coming up in November that will be presented by the Math TOSAs. One in English, one in Spanish. We're constantly building our catalog of workshops, and the passport would be a way to keep track and then get credit for attending and then be recognized for your participation. Is there anything, oh, Judy?
I have a question. How, if I join through Zoom, how will you know that I was there, or how can they stand? If I attend to a workshop or if I attend to a.
Well,
meeting?
typically, we take a screenshot of the attendees at the Zoom meeting and keep it in our file, which reminds me, can one of the CLs please take a screenshot of our attendees? So we have a record. But quite honestly, if you come to me and say, I attended the Zoom on February 7th, I'm going to say, great, Sandy. I'm not going to request that I dig through your file to find it. I'm going to assume you are telling me the truth and you want credit. But we do take a record, so you feel like your time wasn't wasted. We want you to come and we want you to get your recognition. Dan.
To follow up on that, does it have to be really tangible? Can it just be virtual as far as the passport
Mhm.
itself? Because in this case, what she's asking, the same thing is that, if you can't attend the meetings, if you lose it, if something happens to it, then you kind of lose your, so everybody should just have it, maybe in a virtual kind of sense that, it can be logged in. And then that way it's just kept so that nobody has to worry. Sure, it's great to have something tangible. It's fun to have it, but at the same time, might get stuck in the wash or something could happen. Maybe it falls out of the purse or your wallet. And then it's gone and you don't remember what you've attended. You haven't done, and to have the stamps is great, but again, maybe something showing it. And that could be also created maybe by a different team of like a logo that's, it's like, I've got this. And like you said, the colors and everything could be vibrant instead of, you know what I'm saying? It just seems like it would cost, the cost would be down even on that. Because then you wouldn't have to get paper, you wouldn't have to spend there, for stamps even.
I think that's a great idea. We just needed a tech wizard who knows how to do that.
Well, I'm pretty sure there's plenty in the district.
I was gonna say, you're not saying that you are one and you're volunteering, are you? Or you're just sharing an idea.
I'm not saying that that's, I'm
He's
good.
gonna do it.
I'm great at development for that. I'm not the one that actually could do the hard programming for that, but.
Right, well, thank you.
definitely
That's
sit on something to give ideas for that and the structure and, building, but.
You can actually do both, have a record of it, and plus have for people who wanna have the paper.
Yeah, it's,
Extra paper.
but it's again, if we're trying to,
Trying to simplify it.
yeah, we're trying to, in costs, I mean, just in general for not only for the district, but also for whatever it is that people might have concerns about,
That's a good idea.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things that we can go for,
Good idea.
like, forward with that. And I think it's also, it's great for anybody that wants to make changes. So if there's anything you can just do, something really changes very quickly. Allocated in that kind of scenario.
I'm almost thinking of it like, Apple Pay on your phone. Boom. I get my stamp or something.
It can be that easy when somebody even checks in, if we all come into, it can be in person, maybe it's a QR code, maybe everybody QR codes it to their, from the screenshot,
High tech.
there's a lot of different developments that, they're available, just, I think just implementing it.
We can find out.
Because, and that's great for her workshops too, but any workshops that are going, it's the same thing.
Mhm.
You know, you can actually implement a lot of different ideas in that way. Maybe that's even the great thing for going out and spreading the word.
Yeah, yeah. All right, well, thank you for that. We will definitely take that under consideration and talk to our tech geniuses in the district. I'm looking at one right now, but we'll get back to her later. Question?
We
From who?
have, you have,
You, Lisa, or Natalie.
oh, she asked, if there was a way we could, sorry. Oh. Julie asked, can our screen name be called so we know our names show up right? And then Fatima said, can we use a QR code for the passport?
Oh,
Okay, I think Fatima had the same idea as Daniel. And Yuli, we see your name. Did you, and she wanted to just make sure her name was up there correctly?
Yes, so quick question, sorry. Only because sometimes I've had previous meetings where sometimes I use like my husband's phone or something to log in through Zoom. So it'll show like my husband's name and it's me. So I just wanted to know if our names show up correctly so that we know that, you know, when we do like the passport, our name will be on there and we could say, hey, well, I attended a previous meeting and our name will show up correctly.
And my name was iPhone 8, right?
Yeah.
Well, I know in Zoom, you, as a participant, you can go to the participants tab, find your name, and you can rename yourself. So you
Okay.
can do that in the meeting, and you know, we could show you how to do that. That's the
Sounds good.
easiest way. And then
Okay.
you might just have to come in one day and say, hey, I'm iPhone 8 and I was there.
Okay, okay,
If
sounds
you're
good.
working.
Thank you.
Yeah, or add it to the chat. Yeah, that's true. Did you have a
Thank you.
question?
Oh, no, I was just gonna comment that you can rename yourself.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we have Zoom experts in the room. That's good. That's good.
I do have one parent, sorry to interrupt. And Miss Jessica would like to know more information regarding the mental health committee.
if we're gonna just start.
Okay,
Yeah, we don't have a date yet. We're gonna working on that. So and see what day we're gonna, what day they can come to the school. I mean, to find out where we're gonna do it. And where and when, and we have it the parents because they told me if they're gonna do for just only for the parents or if we want parents and students. So, and I need to find out which one is the best. Just only parents or we have parents and students.
And just to clarify, it's not a mental health
Yeah.
committee.
Uh-huh.
This is parents who signed up to participate in, I think it was 20 hours of training. And all these workshops that they attended, and they received a stipend for doing it. And they are now liaisons, right? Ambassadors through public health. So they are not presenting workshops.
Mhm.
They are bringing
They bring
experts from the Department of Public Health to talk about the importance of school attendance, to talk about mental health issues, to talk about the importance of, what are the two others? Vaccinations.
vaccination. Yeah. The thing is like, what I know is like if I can like have like 10 parents, but they're gonna talk just the basic, that what mental health is. But I told her like, I want like more because I want to know the parents about what a mental health is, how can like help our kids. So that's why they asked me like, okay, we can do something big, but I'm gonna have like, need to have like 30 people in the meeting. So that's why I need to the help, like we can have those parents and like we can get the resource for everything.
Right, so the health fair is where this is gonna kick off, so
Yeah.
do you want to scroll through? I think it's time to do some commercials before we adjourn. I just wanted to let you all know that at our board meetings this year, each month, a school is being highlighted and the principal is coming and bringing students and some families, and they're highlighting something really great that they're doing at their site. Last week, I was there because I was doing English learner progress, but the spotlight was on Rogers Middle School. And they did this wonderful presentation and you got to hear about all the wonderful things they were doing. Next time on November 7th, Smith is going to be in the school spotlight. And then on November 21st, Twain is going to be in the school spot. I highly encourage you to attend either in person or via Zoom or YouTube. I also encourage you, if you need interpretation, can you go to the next one?
Mhm.
On the board meeting page on the website, if you look down where that red arrow is, you can request interpretation, and someone fantastic like Dan, who is interpreting right now, will be interpreting the board meeting. And this is important too, just because the board has not been seeing a lot of parent participation and or requesting interpretation. And so they're not 100% sure they're going to continue with the process. So we need to see parents asking for it so that you can hear what's going on. And the beauty about doing Zoom or on the YouTube channel is you can be at home and you can be making dinner and you can be feeding your kids and you're still hearing about what's happening. And the really great thing at these meetings is it's schools showing you what they have. And particularly if you're an elementary parent and you're looking at the middle schools, these are chances to see all the great things that are happening. I'll keep putting up every month the ones that are coming up in the next months, but I really encourage you to check them out. Can you keep going? Oh, there you go. There's the community health fair. I knew it was in here somewhere. So it is Thursday, November 7th, 2 to 4:30 p.m. It'll be an opportunity to get free flu shots, get community resources. There'll be giveaways and activities. I'm recruiting our pals parents to be there with a table to share with you all the things they've learned and get this workshop together and get helpers. So please put that on your calendar so you can check it out. And don't worry, all this will be coming out in a barrage of information soon through Parent Square. And then our next, let's go back to the next meetings.
Yeah.
Go backwards. Let's just go.
Oops, I don't want to knock off your coffee.
So the next meeting's coming up. DPAC. Oh, I didn't change that. My bad. It should say Community of Multilingual Families. We'll be meeting on November 13th. Special Needs Family Support Group, November 19th. Our next DPAC meeting will be December 11th. APAC's first meeting of the year is now on schedule for December 12th. So we have a busy November and December coming in addition to the health fair. And then I think the very last slide,
No, that's enough.
I think there's one more after it. No?
Mm.
Oh, maybe it's right before. It was about your homework. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Homework. Work on your elevator pitch. Tell 2 friends about school site council and DPAC, and maybe bring one with you next time. Or attend the school site council meeting for the first time if you haven't yet to see what it's all about. I know there are some schools who are still not at 5 parents. They are still recruiting. They would love to have you. Please consider joining the school site council. All right, well, President, you want to close us out?
Yes, thank you everybody for coming today and even on that Zoom meeting. Thank you. Thank you to everybody.
And we'll see you soon. In the
See you
next
soon.
semester.
Next week.
Thank you, everyone.